Hello, hi. I'm Patricia McNeely. I'm an Illumined Blu-ray twin flame from Chicago, Illinois. I hope you're doing well today. So, is everyone feeling this energy? Yes, we are. Everyone is. This is a big push. Like I was saying, there's sort of this crescendo and a build of energy, especially for people that are going to have a lot popping later in this year. So, as I said it last year, the first half of this year is going to look a little weird for a lot of us, but the latter half of the year, that's going to be where a lot of the joy comes. Are you missing the joy in your life? Are you missing the fun? Are you missing the romance, the adventure? Are you tending to forget why it is that this journey even started? Are you so far mission gone that you are losing the thread of what this is all about? Maybe, maybe not, but I think some people are. Maybe it's not you, maybe it's the person over there. But regardless, I very much want to encourage you, please don't lose the thread of what this is about. This is all about brand new, fresh starts, brand new body. And think about that. While you think about purging and purifying, how many chances do you really get for a second chance? Or even if it's your fourth chance, or true forgiveness? And not only that, full removal. So what are we talking about here? There's a big push with this energy. We're in so much Venus energy that it isn't even funny. It's almost like a Venus retrograde instead of a Saturn, Jupiter retrograde energy here. And it's pushing you towards this full moon. The full moon is going to illuminate some of the things that you've worked so hard on. It's not going to illuminate things that you've needed to change. It's going to illuminate what you've worked so hard on. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, it is. So what does that mean? It means some things will start showing up in your physical life. Maybe not everything, not at first, but very gradually. Now, it is significant that some of that will happen a month preceding the solstice. This is an important solstice. This is it. There's no going back. Okay, you're past the point of no return, even if your twin isn't with you, even if you're in stuff. But I'll tell you what will happen, a time split. So this full moon will significantly shift time. You're in both a time compression and a dimensional squeeze. It's time for the feminine, this especially means females, to integrate the masculine energy so that you're properly supported. Now, there's good news with that. Okay, so I wrote this down. All of this feminine stress and a lot of females that are feeling overly stressed. And when I say stress, where it feels like body stress to you, headaches, chest aches, a lot of what people call heart pulse, buzzing around your ears, hip energy. Now, I want to say something to the men here. There's a set of muscles that on your body is particularly significant for certain grounding connections, these Psoas muscles, P-S-O-A-S. Many of my exercises can help with that. I'm gonna write it down here. Psoas, P-S-O-A-S, Psoas muscles, those are in the hips. Women feel things in different places. So these are some of the differences between male and female bodies. And if it's two lesbians together, even if one is feeling a lot of their masculine energy, you still might have some female body parts that feel things in the same areas as your twin. If you're two males together, you're going to feel some things in the hips and the knees, and you might be feeling it the same as each other, or you may feel it from your twin flame. And that's significant. I know that there's teachers out there that don't believe in gay twin flames, and au contraire. There absolutely are. In fact, there's reasons for it, and it has a lot to do with the whole spectrum being represented. So I won't get off on a tangent about that. But in order to have physical union and health, you need to be able to integrate your higher connections. I'm going to be running classes on this. So you can either do that in a one-on-one session. You can do some of that in my classes. I'm going to be having some classes on relationships because guess what a lot of coming up here? Domestic violence, family violence, aspects of this are popping out of people. That's not the way to run your twin flame union, and it ain't happening. You will be kept apart until all of that stuff comes out of you. So if you've been in the habit of being abused or being an abuser, even if you kind of, gloss it over and say, well, it wasn't that hard or it wasn't that much, these little jabs and things that people do. If it's too much, it's too much. How do people talk to each other? So any type of conflict and how to resolve it, especially domestic stuff, domestic conflicts, domestic violence, violence that runs in the family. Do you have a tough guy in your family that wants to go around defending or beating everyone up? Better believe it's going to come out because that's not going to exist near your union. Do you have someone in your family that maybe was a hired assassin way back in the day, in the 1400s, who worked for some government or some secret guild or something? It's going to come out. Hey, was that your twin? What aspects does your twin have in their past? What aspects do you have in your past? I can tell you, both males and females, this is why all of this DM and DF stuff doesn't really, it kind of flops, because you've been both. You've had lives of being the masculine, had lives of being the feminine. There's a lot of people talking about, in fact, someone said, oh, I thought you were going to talk about the patriarchy. If I talk about the patriarchy, I'm going to have to talk about the matriarchy. And there were aspects of that existed in the Pleiades, that existed in Venus, and in some ways on Mars. And Earth has had a very predominant electric masculine, but electric masculine propels the energetics upwards. The magnetic feminine pulls up, but that same feminine and masculine exist within you. Might be dualistic. It's like doing this. Does a little balance for you. But when either person is overextended, it doesn't feel right within the union. So this full moon is going to significantly shift time. You're going to get out of those timelines. You're completely out of that timeline. In fact, whatever was in that timeline, behaviors, patterns, it's going to fall out of you. And it'll keep popping up. Now, I'm going to talk about something that I've seen, and I started seeing it probably about 10 months ago. Now, what happened 10 months ago? Okay, we're in May. So if you take that back, and then you back that up another 5 months, okay, you get something like August, September, the Lion's Gate, okay? That Lion's Gate, there started to be a softening, okay? The removal of a lot of hardnesses, the removal of a lot of those hard walls, okay? It was almost like 1979 when some of the walls came tumbling down. It was almost like when the Berlin Wall fell down. And people weren't just like making it fall down. They were knocking it down. They were hammering it down. They were pushing it down. They're like, get all the walls done. And you can, I haven't been over there, but you can still see differences there between what was on one side of the wall and what was on the other side of the wall, okay? One side may be thriving in one way and the other side may be hidden or not thriving in other ways. And this softening, that's what I call it, the softening. What does it bring about? When the masculine softens, if you're talking about a man, okay, if you're actually talking about a physical man, what that means is they start melting away that hot and cold way of communicating. They become a little bit more affectionate. They don't feel so vulnerable. You may not have to put so many boundaries. The anger in relationships needs to shift too. How people handle equality. and equality in dating and relationships. Okay, now if you're just talking about the energetic, how does it play out in your body? That means like a lot of the hard areas start. So what that means physically is you barf. Any impulse to fight or any past impulse pretty much means you're going to vomit it out. Because if you have shoved down what you've had to do in order to perpetrate violence or conflict, you're going to barf it out now so that the softening can happen. People don't like that, and they certainly won't equate it with love, but it happens. And I know that there's quite a lot of strange ascension symptoms. I am fully a teacher of how to get you through the ascension symptoms, get your energy shifted, and get your causal body. What is your causal body? This is your manifester. So if you are someone that says, hey, I don't know how the law of attraction, why it's not working for twin flames, because the old parts of you need to clear out, you need to purge, and you need to connect higher. That is what I help with. I've had a lot of people, I actually had, I had something like 7 people update me on their situations, and 7 of those people were starting brand new jobs in the month of May. So I was very proud of them because just from, doing some of this, doing some things that I outlined for them, they're prepared. I actually thought that is something I want to cover in some of these classes that I'm doing. Are you trying to re-enter the workforce? Are you, as a more ascended being than you were maybe a year ago or 4 years ago, trying to re-enter the workforce? I've been helping people with that. What to do. There's also quite a bit of an outline in my book, in book 1, Subtle Body Connections, where I tell you how to clear, I tell you tips and things to do. It's not just tips, it is the what to do if you are on there, how to clear your workspace a bit. And many of the old connections are falling away. Many of the mental obsessions are falling away. If it's not, you need to start removing those conditional things. Unconditional love doesn't mean rolling over and playing dead. Unconditional love means we remove the things that feel like they're limits on us. That's what that means. Where you actually say, yeah, I don't think I like that. And you have someone who is the goddess of her union, and she says, well, we're having a few domestic conflicts. I don't think I like sarcasm. But how do I roll? I roll like a twin flame goddess. I have other ways that this gets removed. And if you have the couple together, and do they risk having an argument? Do they risk having what they've attained? In other words, if they have gained ground, do they lose ground? No, there's no going back. You're past the point of no return. For a lot of people, that happened last year. You are going fully forward. I just don't like it when you speak to me in that tone of voice. You're imagining it. Why are you always like that? Why am I like that? Why doesn't he understand? Why can't I just verbalize what it is that I'm feeling? Like, what is it with him and feelings? What are you trying to say? Okay, can't you just go from point A to point B? Why do you always take such a circuitous route to get your point across? Come on, do it. Oh, I'm making my point if you'd only listen. I am listening. I'm standing right here, but you got cold. You're just completely cold. I don't know what it is with you. You run hot and cold, and oh my God, there's no talking to you. I just don't get it. I can't do anything right. You don't have to ever do anything for me ever again. Boy, is it getting sensitive. It's very sensitive out there. And I'm going to caution all of you, cut people some slack. I wrote it under my last video, cut people some slack, because everybody is going through this shift in time, even if they don't know it, because a lot of people won't know it. The public views that people get on these kind of videos are very minuscule by comparison to, a review of a film or something like that. which, by the way, if you have not seen the Avengers film, oh, go see it. There's so many twin flamey elements in it. You will laugh, you will cry, you will hear things that we talk about in there. How do the writers know? The writers know, I'll tell you how. Because they're probably twin flames, or maybe they're not fully awakened, but it runs through them. So some of those things that, you know, how does it get through their causal body where they can start making it happen, where the thing gets green lighted? I know I talk to a lot of you who do have a screenplay or something in the works that you want to be green lighted at some point. So it does happen. People do find acceptance through these types of films. Time travel, quantum time, quantum physics, things about the body, telepathy, magical powers, okay? Like there's references in there about wizards, and there's references in there about the cosmos, and there's all kinds of references. But I'll tell you one thing I have noticed with a lot of films over the past year, there's an underlying theme there. And that underlying theme is what I feel the masculine softening. Okay, it's coming out in different ways. There's been a lot of Disney films that are focusing on a dad or a father who maybe didn't know he was a father. He wants to do the right thing. Or a father who thinks he's doing the right thing and it's actually a bad thing. And he's getting beat up by all the other males. Or some of the things that I saw in this film, which were the true value placed on where the person's heart was. Was it with their family? Was it with their children? Was it where it really counts? And yeah, that's what I've been seeing. So yes, I've been seeing what I call the softening, and with female softening, okay? Females have done their fair share of stuff throughout history, okay? We may not use a cleaver, but we've used, you know, drops of poison. We have used different things. I even had a friend whose son got upset because he said, "Why did you alter my destiny right at my birth with his circumcision?" And he was angry about it, rightfully so, because there was no going back. It was already, it happened. So many things that people can feel emotionally, it's going to pop out now. And don't take everything personally. People may rub you the wrong way. Even what I'm saying here, it might trigger some people. If it triggers you, I guess you're just feeling something, you know? I mean, I'm not going to like be all PC about it and say, hey, you know, take what resonates and leave the rest. If you're not there, you're not there. And that's okay. But a lot of people are getting things triggered out. And there's a lot of triggering happening on the other side of people's unions because these hardnesses have to melt away. They have to come out. You have to be able to merge with each other, integrate with each other. And that is why mine is called Twin Flames Merge, because I help you with the higher subtle body connections. I help you with the things where you feel maybe there's stuck energy or blocks. I do that here. I'm going to be doing that here. If you want to talk about relationship patterns, come with your questions. Lots of relationship patterns. Jealousy, drama, struggles, financial infidelity, all kinds of things. Pulling everything out of the bag of tricks. What does he do when he feels cornered or threatened? What does she do? Well, he's going to go to the beach. He's dressed for the beach. What does he do? What is he going to do when faced with the person that he loves and they start to have different opinions? Okay? How do they collapse anything that seems like it's dualistic? And there is a way to do it. You do it through your body using your subtle body connections. That is what I teach. It is best not to have a discussion about this because what would they say? What would they say? Well, I just felt we should work together on something. Yeah, I know, but I'm like this close to finishing becoming a chef, and that's my dream. But I love you, and we can go to the other city now. Why do you want to do? I'll take care of you. I don't want you to take care of me. I want to do my I want to be an equal. We're equals. That's just an old relationship pattern. What do you mean old relationship pattern? I make more money than you. Yeah, that's exactly it. I have potential. I just don't want to be some houseboy. Well, I'm not trying to get you to be a houseboy. Oh no? Oh no? Well, Bill and Jeffrey, they joke around about it that they have a houseboy. One of them's the houseboy and the other one's the master. That's their dynamic. That's not us. That's not us. Where are you coming up with this? I have a dream and that's what I want. You're becoming shrill. Please stop. Oh, maybe I'll lower my voice a few octaves. How about this? How about this? What do you think? Do you like me now? All right, we're getting out of hand, and they're often running to the races. Okay, it happens in a lot of when people get together and everything gets very sensitive, and that's softening because nobody wants to really hurt each other. Does anyone really want more violence? Does anyone want those explosions when people can't express and like it's so built up in them that they're like, I got to get a gun. I got to bring a gun here. I got to go. We're already seeing that, okay? If your body is decompressing that stuff, get some extra help with me to find out what to do on the inside and above you, because making your higher connections is how we roll with things. We don't leave things to chance with an ego discussion. You talk to someone in person, you're talking to their ego, and you may or may not know where they're at. But there are other ways to resolve these things. Real conflict resolution happens with full removal, where you remove those things, you remove the buttons essentially. If someone knows how to push your buttons, you remove the buttons. That's how you do it. That's how I roll. I say, let's do that because it expedites things, it gets you healthier, and it keeps your physical union healthy because physical union is the living together. The unification process is putting your bodies together, your subtle body connections. So thanks so much for watching. I will be back with more videos. Look for the links below. I'm going to have a class Friday and Sunday so that you can learn, and I'll try and run these more frequently. Occasionally I need breaks too, to regather my energy, and I have quite a bit of material. So check it out. If you're not sure, email me, twinflamesmerge@gmail.com, because like it or not, whether or not you turn your back on a person, on a live person, because you're angry at them or you're angry at this, you have a body, and there are ways to get you, your body, and your emotions healthier. There's a way to expedite it. And if you've had traumas, then yes, that is also what I help with. Phobias, traumas. I work with people who are on medications and trying to wean off medications. I'm not opposed to it whatsoever. You won't find any judgment from me on it. I will actually tell you, because I'm a firm believer in people getting the help that they need. And if you're brave enough to seek it, then you shall get it, because it also happens from above you. But a lot of people don't like to stay on certain types of health or plant medicine or medicine, okay? And that's also what I like to help people with. So thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. It is going to be a very significant full moon. We're about a week away at this point, and I hope you have a wonderful evening and day. Bye.